So if everyone in a state wants something, go ahead and have it.
So if everyone in Alabama wanted slavery back, you'd be okay with that?
Sure. If everyone in the state wants it, go ahead. What do I give a shit?
All right. Well, let's go next topic.
Well,
it's like these questions are so funny
because
these questions
No,
are
we're
so
not gonna
funny
talk
because
about that.
they're meant
So
to trap
I
you
just-
out.
I'm getting
don't
nervous.
care.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
You understand that that was the same argument that the Confederacy upheld, right? So do you wish that the Confederacy won the war because according to your worldview, the Union impeded upon the state's ability to legislate?
No, but it's an irrelevant argument.
No, so you're glad that the Union won?
This is what I'm saying. All these things are it's like you're phrasing it in a way where it's like I could be like, yes, obviously no. Like I'm not some like psychopath. Like I live in LA. I'm not some crazy right-wing person.
So now you're saying it's
but if
psychotic to
everyone
say
in the
that
state wants something, sure, let them have it.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, we're going to be reacting to a video that has been making rounds on TikTok of a woman who felt it comfortable to go and sit down on a podcast and talk about how comfortable and okay she was with bringing back slavery should everybody want it.
Yeah, and so in her very beautiful bubbled mind, she thinks that if everybody wants slavery, it should come back. My biggest question today is, especially to you, my audience, if slavery were to come back, who is going to be the slave and who is going to be the slave master?
Yeah, because you can't have it both ways. You have to be one of those two things. Who is going to be the slave according to her insinuations and who's going to be the slave master? And let me just say, in the current day and age,
nobody is going to accept to be anybody else's slave.
It's not going to be easy, okay?
Yeah, but before we say our sentiments on these videos, guys, let's watch this video and then we come back and talk about it. And if you also have any sentiments on what she said, you can also leave it on our comment section. Remember to be respectful, guys, and also consider subscribing for those who have not subscribed, and then we come back and talk about it. Let's watch.
If everyone in a state wants something, go ahead and have it.
So if everyone in Alabama wanted slavery back, you'd be okay with that?
Sure. If everyone in the state wants it, go ahead.
Did you know black women were not able to file rape charges against white men until 1861? Did you also know that the rape of a black woman by any man was considered legal in some of the states until 1950s, around there? That's not even too long ago. And when rape itself officially became illegal, it was still not a crime to rape a black woman in some states. So you're telling me that if everyone in whatever state wants that back, you're telling me that they should have that back? That's what I'm understanding from whatever it is that you just said. Let's even go a little further. Did you know that black people weren't allowed to attend desegregated schools until 1954? Let me clarify. 1954 is when the law was passed, but schools still remained segregated until, 1968, which isn't even that long ago. That's just like 56 years ago. I'm sure you're familiar with all the rest of the issues, but what you have to understand is that this is still a fresh issue for us, right? Some of our parents have gone through this period, right? And it wasn't pretty. And some of us still deal with that today, right? So for you to say that if states want to bring slavery back, that they should, is, I don't even have the words.
Clips of my debate with Emily Wilson, which is the woman that told us she'd be okay with slavery, have been going viral all over the internet, and I thought that I'd come on here and share some of my thoughts about the filming experience and how I think things went. First and foremost, I didn't expect her to end her own career over the course of a 2-hour discussion in 4K for millions of people to see. She said that she'd be okay with the legalization of slavery, she was very sympathetic to Mustache Man and his followers, and she said that she'd be unapologetic even if she caused someone to self-unalive. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of those comments really threw me off, as they hopefully would any sane person. And it's not just the fact that she believes in those things that threw me off, it's the fact that she's so totally fine with millions of people knowing. Like, have some shame. But there was also some parts of the conversation that I just found hilarious. She laughed in my face when we were talking about the use of slurs because according to her, words don't matter, but then she went on a 3-minute tirade when I called my girlfriend my partner. But anyways, I'm very happy that I had this discussion with Emily. Although it was a rough filming experience, it is so necessary to expose these echo chambers of lies, hypocrisy, and conspiratorial nonsense to as many people as possible, because that is how we progress as a society.
Slavery back, you'd be okay with that?
Sure. If everyone in the state wants it, go ahead.
Y'all, there's slap her out loud. I don't know why people are shocked. We've already had this talk on this side of TikTok. She is okay if black people went back into slavery. Why is everyone shocked? I thought we already had this discussion. We already had this talk about the rumblings, what people have been saying since I was a kid. And probably before. She don't care because it's not her. She literally said, if everybody in Alabama wanted slavery, then slavery it should be. And she don't care because ain't no skin off her back about it. Y'all, they're just saying out loud what black people have always known. I don't know why y'all are shocked.
So if everyone in Alabama wanted slavery back, you'd be okay with that?
Sure. If everyone in the state wants it, go ahead. What do I give a
All right. Well, let's.
There's no way. There's no way. I don't even gotta know the whole conversation. She talking about if everybody in Alabama, I live in Alabama. If everybody in Alabama wanted, there's no way she said this without trying to get some attention. There's no way she genuinely could believe this. There's no way she could really say this. No, bro. No, bro. That's actually crazy. She literally said that because he backed her in a corner and she couldn't be wrong. She literally just could not, her being just could not be wrong. So she said, let me say yes, even though it's ignorant, but I'll be able to stand on my point and not be wrong. I need to track this. Wow. People aren't even hiding it anymore. They're not even, people used to at least hide it. They're not even hiding it anymore.
So if everyone in Alabama wanted slavery back, you'd be...
God.
She ain't even try to hide it. She ain't try to deny it. Later on, she tried to clean it up, but...
Thank you for your call, Susan. We'll be right back after this.
She didn't even try to hide it. Sure. Yeah, why not? Bro, wait till she get back to LA. But, yeah. We're supposed to be friends with them. And stop inviting these motherfuckers to the proverbial cookout. They're not invited. I don't care who they are. They're not invited. None of them. None of them. Stop it. Because, see, that's the problem.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about this video in the comment section, okay? You know, I've realized a trend of this podcast where, and it always is the podcast of a Caucasian person.
People or just POCs.
Right.
Because I've never...
But it's not even POCs, just palm-colored people, because
especially with the slavery thing.
Because there was also another podcast where this one was a woman interviewer and a woman interviewee, where her friend,
was on Instagram actually.
Yeah, her friend went on this podcast, and I feel like she knew her friend very well,
so she
and
baited her into that route of
yeah,
slavery wasn't all that bad.
I think we link the video for those who have not seen the video for you to go and check it out.
And so, just as that video, Maren, I feel like in this case, this interviewer, he knew this girl, and that's why he knew if he asked like this, her ignorance would force her to blurt out her
what she
very empty
felt.
mind
of
what she feels about slavery. Because guys, like, just picture this, she says slavery should come back, and okay, all right, people vote for slavery to come back, but instead of black people, palm-colored people are the slaves, and black people are the slave owners. Do you really think this lady will be happy in her decision, or every palm-colored people will be fighting to walk back her decision to bring back slavery?
Yeah, and guys, this is also also why I normally say I wish wishing doesn't really do much to it, but for the sake of pushing this conversation forward, I wish everybody would just learn the true historical events of how things happened and the true history, because if they knew the palm-colored people, if they knew the true history and not the whitewashed one, not the white supremacy mindset that they're being given, just the true historical
facts of how slavery was, how black babies were being used as alligator baits,
and then we come and hear them talk. If they knew the truth about the crimes committed against humanity, because it's one thing for them to hear it in passing or for them to see it in movies, because those are enactments. It's quite different for them to hear them in passing than it is when they actually know what truly happened, you know.
And you know, right now, as most of our brothers and sisters have said here on the stitches, some of them think that black people have always known that white people usually think about bringing back slavery and romanticize it, you know. So right now, most of them are claiming that right now, white people are not even bothering hiding their true feelings towards slavery and how it should be brought back.
Just recently, we did an episode called When Was America Great Again? I also advise you to go watch it if you haven't. And in this episode, you know, they're just asking a simple question, because when you look at Trump and you know where his head is at pertaining matters with people of different colors. So we were asking, when do you think America was great? Because palm-colored people have this perception in their minds of when America was great. It's why Trump comes out and says, let's make America great again. So before we make it great again, when was it ever great? It's the question that was posed.
People of color and black people, when was it great again?
Again, because America entails everybody. White people, black people, and the people of color.
Yeah, and now when this interviewer comes forward and he says he was also shocked by the utterances of this woman. There was nothing shocking to him about what she said, because I feel like
he also feels the same way.
Not only that, but he expected her to act as much. So he didn't even bait her. He just walked her to what he wanted her to say. Since he can't say it himself because he has a whole podcast to protect and a livelihood to protect, he just brought her in front of people who wanted to hear that specific phrase, and he made her say it. So this, even if he's saying he was shocked and he is sorry on her behalf for what she said.
And then, you know, the funny thing is that he's coming forward and calling this girl a hypocrite. At least she showed, I'm not saying what she did was right, but she showed herself.
She has made her stance clear.
So you know who your enemy is. You're staring at her. I feel like this boy is the greatest enemy, because he's sitting down calling this lady
under his pretentious coat.
Exactly. Calling this lady a hypocrite.
This and that.
He was calling her a hypocrite, and I feel like he's the biggest hypocrite. Leave alone that he's the silent. He's the biggest hypocrite.
Yeah, because, you know, I feel like, if you feel so bad that she has done that to black people, because obviously when you say slavery, who are affected most? Yeah, all races enslaved themselves, but who suffered atrocities during slavery? Yeah. So, you know, when he says that he feels so bad for doing that, I don't think that he feels bad, because instead of asking him,
he's maximizing on her mistake.
And also instead of asking her if she would be okay with slavery coming back, I feel like he would have asked another question that wouldn't have necessarily forced her to walk herself to that situation.
But we are not defending both of them.
They are all just the way they are.
And I understand she's been cancelled. Of course, actions have consequences. But I wish people dealt with the boy as well, because he's not innocent.
Yeah, for now we can let him survive, because he has successfully managed to camouflage behind the girl, and he has pointed her towards the bullets. So hey,
guys, let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here.
And my biggest question before we close this episode, guys, do you think that right now, if slavery was legalized, do you think white people would ever accept to be your slaves, black people?
Hey.
They would. literally got to walk back that decision if it meant that the ones who are being the slaves.
But I
Yet
feel
some
like,
people like her are okay with slavery coming back as long as they're not the ones
it gives
affected.
the vibes of, let's just go back to the America that was, we'd be lazy. You know how the palm colored women used to sit around,
do nothing,
your baby, their baby, they're being taken care of, somebody's cooking their
they're not
meal.
even the ones taking care of the babies.
Exactly.
The black nannies and all are the ones taking care of the babies.
That is the kind of picture that is in her mind when she says, let's walk back to those days, What you're forgetting is there's another brother who also brought a valid point, Maureen. We almost forgot to talk about him. He talked about during the days of slavery, women were like crime against women. They were normalized because it was a patriarchal society.
It wasn't Maren. Let's be clear. It wasn't crime against women. It was crime against black women. It wasn't illegal for black women to be raped. It wasn't illegal for black women to be raped.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. And the fact that her words can pass her brain and come out of her mouth and still say that and not think about that fact,
It just shows just how
selfish,
lacking they are in knowledge of what slavery was. And
knowledge, emotion, and sympathy.
Right. And these are the, what is it called? These are the classic effects of, let's not hurt our palm-colored babies. Let's not teach them all that gruesome stuff. Just allow them to be babies.
I feel like they should just be held by the hand, put on a plane, taken to Congo, and they go and show them.
To stay there when
instead of coming to Africa in those touristic places where they come and enjoy the beautiful sights of Africa and whatnot. They need to instead be taken to those places where they left devastation for them to see what they caused.
Although technically it wasn't America that what is it called, that colonized Congo, but I'm sure in America there are places where slaves were being handled. I think even the plantation and whatnot, they're still there up to date. They should be just taken to those places for like maybe a month up to a year. Guys, please remember to subscribe to our channel and also leave us a comment on what you think about this episode. We'll see you later.